Hi, my name is Tim Hitchcock. My dad, Howard Hitchcock, is a big hero of mine. I grew up in an artist household. He taught art 30 years in college.
My name is Bill Anderson, and I was a very good friend of Howard Hitchcock. He was a PhD in art education, taught at Cal State Long Beach for his career.
So my name is Tice. I'm married to one of Howard's grandchildren, Allison. And I may be one of the people in the family that have known him for the shortest amount of time, just the last 10 years of his life. But he was a great man, and I think for me, one of the things that'll make you respect a person the most is somebody who never utters a sentence without really having thought first.
And in 1995, I was invited by the National Museum of Watercolor in Mexico City to get 20 American artists together in a 5-country exhibit. And Howard was, of course, one of the 20, and that was another major event that we were involved in. And early in Howard's career, he studied with an artist named Alexander Archipenko, a great modern American sculptor.
My name is Keith Berger. I'm the oldest son of Howard's older sister. He's quiet. It seems like he's not really hearing what you're saying, and then he comes back with a quip that shows you he not only heard what you said, but he's taken it a couple of different levels.
And you can see the influence from Archipenko and Howard's work. I mean, we're all influenced by various experiences, and of course, I'm sure Archipenko was also influenced by others as well.
Brad Hitchcock. I am Howard Hitchcock's oldest grandchild. Gosh, let me think. We many memories over the years. I remember being about 13 years old and being at Long Beach State University and watching as he poured molten bronze into cast, which I thought was pretty much the coolest thing I'd ever seen at that age.
And he challenged his creativity in so many different ways. He worked, he was primarily a sculptor, but also painted with acrylics, watercolors. He also did many block prints, etchings, and his work went from realism, super realism in fact, to abstraction, and to, in many cases, kind of surrealist.
Hello, I'm Paul Hitchcock, and Howard is my grandpa. And this is my son Asher Hitchcock. I have a lot of fond memories of Grandpa growing up. He had he gave us an excuse to head down to California, and we've been up in the Northwest most of our life. So anytime we can go someplace sunny is good. And I remember they were always welcoming. Even later in life, we got to go down and they put us up. We basically saw them in the mornings. We'd come down and they had their typical, Addie was a very healthy eater, so they had fruit and a little bit of cereal every morning.
This is Isabel Cozart, and I'm the director of Landing Gallery in Sedona, Arizona. And I had the great pleasure and honor of knowing Howard Hitchcock, and I miss him dearly, even as we talk about this right now.
My name is Pauline Williams, and I am Howard's little sister. I am one of 2 little sisters. Howard is 10 years older than we were, and we used to bug the heck out of him because he was the only boy in the family, and he seemed to us like he got all the privileges. But as he was growing up, he loved to draw, and he would sit on the front porch and draw just a picture of a cat that was sleeping on the steps down at the bottom. And he always said he didn't care what he did when he grew up, as long as he could draw, he'd be happy. And that's exactly where he ended up going, doing everything he wanted to do into his artwork and becoming a professor and doing a beautiful job of it, and we're very proud of him.
it was just so charming to sit. We sat down with them at the table, and I sat down with them and looked at his work, and both his paintings and his sculpture. And I knew his paintings weren't right for the gallery, but his sculptures just took me away. They were so clever and so much fun, and poked such fun at us as human beings. And I think he really enjoyed that I was so entranced with them.
Well, my experiences with Howard, of course, came after my marriage into the family. We enjoyed times as Howard and Addie on their timeshare plans in Winston, California, St. George, Utah, and in Whistler, BC, and we just had a lot of fun together.
There's one thing that always stays with me about about knowing Howard is that I feel as though Howard really taught me about kindness. He was just an incredibly kind and generous human being.
My name is Sandy Hitchcock, and I was married to Tim Hitchcock, Howard Hitchcock's oldest son, for 26 years. And the college where he worked, Long Beach State College at that time, had a really great crafts program. And he took us there to watch when they were doing a pour of the bronze for the sculptures.
You know, his grace and his humor and his hard work. Boy, you know, to do the bronzes and all that, I mean, this is hard work. And so I am, I'm just very, very thankful. He is someone that will remain in my heart and close to me for my entire life.
My name's Eric. I am number 3 out of 4 boys, son to Howard and Addie. I am very blessed to have had him as a dad. He was one of a very special type of people that loved kids, was good with them once he didn't have to be a parent. He was a naturally talented artist as a boy, and halfway through his college, his dad told him, do what you love, you know, and he went right back and changed his degree from engineering to art, and he never looked back.
I continue to sell his work, everything that he had created, and the sculptures that I could sell, I will, because I know it'll make a huge difference in whoever falls in love with them in their life, in their home.
One of my good memories, when he was chairman of the art department at Long Beach, he often went east to interview prospective teachers for the school. And he always stopped at Pittsburgh, flew down where we were, and had a nice visit with us. He and Herb were both college professors and had a wonderful relationship.
He was a great artist and a great man, and I miss him a great deal.
Hello, my name's Dave. I just wanted to say a few words about my dad, Howard Hitchcock. He was a heck of an artist, craftsman, good father, very creative and expressive. He's missed by myself and my brothers, a lot of people who he touched in there during his time in his life. Yeah, what can I say about my dad? He was a great human being. So, you know, hopefully he has found his peace, and I think he said, as he said, he always wanted to be famous, and I think in his passing, he has definitely gained a tremendous amount of gratitude and respect for his art and him as a human being. So.
My cousin, Howard Hitchcock, a gentle man and a passionate artist. I feel so fortunate to have been able to spend more time with him in the last few years and get very acquainted with him and his art as we visited our children in Southern California. Art was his life. His sisters tell me about when they would get together for family reunions annually. He could visit only so long, and then it was back to the sketch pad. And as his health began to decline, it did not diminish in his interest in creating. He created right up to the very end. He loved to mentor youth, as is noted by his teaching at the university. His art had soul, and I'm so fortunate to have 4 pieces in my collection here at the house, and I will treasure them forever. To honor Howard is to honor Addie. She was a quiet power in his life and art, and both enriched those who knew them by their very presence. An honor to have a cousin and a friend like Howard and Addie.
And he made some very extraordinary efforts to create experiences and memories for us in the High Sierras, camping, going on adventures, things that really you remember for a lifetime.
We're definitely gonna miss Howard a great deal, but his work lives on, and will always live on.